Here we go, this. Yeah, I checked this out. Some woman commented on this, and at the time I was like, I'm going to look into this, because it was very odd what the guy was saying at this conference. Change agents. What on earth is that all about? Okay, it's freaky. Yeah, that is freaky. And then this person commented, and it's like, okay, there's obviously something in this. Change agents is something Carol M, can't remember her tricky last name, recently gone to be with the Lord, discussed this trend. I wish I could find it again. I think it's when she spoke at a Calvary chapel with others about occultic influences in the church, etc. Yeah, I did check this woman out, and I did find a video of her going through this term, change agents. Okay. Yeah, here we go. This woman found it. Yeah, you might want to check out this link, okay, to find out more about this secret agenda that is taking place, and how they're trying to empower women to become change agents. It's just so bizarre, so crazy. I'd encourage you to watch a whole lot, preferably to watch all videos from their seminars on deception in the church. Here's a relevant link. Here we go. Yeah. About Queen Esther. She saved the entire Jewish nation as she interceded before the king for her people. Yeah. Now, I'm going to go over this later on, about women who inadvertently acquire positions of leadership. Okay, now it isn't favourable that women lead, but there are situations like this, and it's the case for a lot of monarchy as well. Okay, sometimes they have no choice but to lead, their people, and it was the case with Queen Esther. She was brought to the kingdom for such a time as this. Yeah, see? For such a time as this. Women should absolutely do what God has called them to do, as God can and will place them in influential positions. However, there is an order in the kingdom of God. Yeah, you see, women should absolutely do what God has called them to do, but in the Bible, what God has called them to do is be submissive to the man and not to speak in church. I mean, that one's quite strict, I'm quoting Corinthians there, that's not me saying that. But yeah, that they aren't to usurp male authority, and God gave the man control over the woman when she sinned. I mean, this is in the Old Testament as well, folks, alright? Everywhere. So this is what God has called women to do, okay? And this was a rare case, Esther, yeah? For such a time as this, yeah? Should a woman teach, lead a man? Do you see a problem with this conference and the message it is sending? Exactly. There are occasionally exceptions, but it isn't meant to be, okay? It's not the right way. Okie dokie. This is not biblical. A woman must adorn herself with submission, not showing off, etc. Exactly. Why haven't they killed them? Why haven't they killed them? What's that all about? Okay. Wow. If they can make an army of holier-than-thou people who believe that they are in the right, that's scary. Basically joining the people who are supposed to be searching for God with those of the world, SJWs and such. I don't know what that is. Basically bringing that to the Church of God. The corruption is endless with this. Yeah. Wow, man, they're worshipping themselves. Yeah, they are. Look at them glorifying themselves on stage. Change agents. Oh, women are going to be empowered and become really influential and lead everyone. Gee whiz. It couldn't be more abominable. Where is it that women were leaders of the church in the Old Testament? I put here, they would argue Esther, albeit she was not a leader of the church. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with women teaching provided they are supervised and don't take on senior positions. Look at how they are all being tempted to become leaders in this video. This is exactly what Timothy was warning about. Very unwise. Big business. There we go. Yeah, this one's good. This one's nice. This kind of music doesn't make us closer to Christ. It only gets emotions involved, and the Bible is clear on when it says the heart itself is deceiving. All the nonsense of dancing, seriously? God will never approve of worldly things. We should worship Him in truth and in spirit. This is none of that. Yeah, just like that one. Ah, look at this. This is interesting, yeah. The reply to this one. You do know that Hillsong has multiple locations, right? Really? Wow. What do you take me for, man? Oh dear. Some people. Okay, Colour Conference is hosted in Australia, the UK, and then in 3 locations across the US, and then finally Kiev. And then the reply to this, yep, never is a Hillsong because the compromise stinks in God's nostrils. You'll never ever find one of these 501c3 institutions in a poor area, because these disgusting places are all about money. Flashing lights, just not cool. That's the Lilith deception. Interesting comment, that. If you don't know who Lilith was in the Bible, she's not in the Bible. She's in one of the banned books of the Bible, and was apparently the woman God created for Adam prior to Eve, but she turned to evil, and God then made Eve for Adam. But again, this is one of the banned books of the Bible, so a lot of those books were banned for a very good reason. And then others were banned because of the deceit that's taking place. Yeah, I don't want people to know. The trick is discerning which ones are which. Yeah, which ones were banned because they're not of God. Okay, and the Gnostic ones are, I mean, just totally satanic. And then which ones were banned because the Roman Catholic Church didn't like them, didn't want people to know. So I've read all of the banned books, okay, all of the lost books, and the best advice I can give is avoid the Gnostic ones like the plague, okay. I did a video on this. I've done a few videos on this actually, yeah. One of my David Icke videos, he's teaching Gnosticism at his presentations. You don't go there, pal. And he won't teach any of the Bible, okay, and will actually turn people away from Christ with all of his teachings. And then he whacks in Gnosticism, what was banned from the Bible. So I mean this guy's totally in on it, right? Anyway, let's carry on. Yeah, look, this one's good. Yeah, it's about the paganizing of Christianity. Okay. Some worship has been in the Christian church from its foundation. In fact, that's what it's been based on from the beginning. Until I decided to check things out and start reading my Bible for myself, I was led by deception for a very long time in the Christian church. But I found out that God has his system and Satan has counterfeited it with Christianity. Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. There is no Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving Day, Valentine's Day, etc. on God's calendar, and certainly not any Halloween. There is no pork and shellfish in the Son of God's diet either, or any of the Apostles' diet for that fact either. There is, on the other hand, Saturday, Sabbath, the Passover, and all his other feasts and holy days that are in the Bible. Think about it. The Son of God, Yeshua HaMashiach, followed every one of God's commandments to the fullest and never celebrated these holidays that the beast system has in place, but celebrated all the holidays and Sabbaths that are listed in God's Word, and never ate pork or shellfish, and neither did the Apostles. Then how come the Christian Church doesn't teach it? The Son of God is the Word, the truth, the life, the way, the light, God the Son. Now, this thing about pork, yeah, it's interesting that. Now, I try to avoid pork wherever possible, yeah, as well as beef. But I saw somewhere, I looked it up once, that genetically our closest relatives genetically is the pig. Okay, it's not the ape. All right. Yeah, in our DNA, we're closer to pigs than apes. All right. Well, Darwinism doesn't teach that we evolved from pigs, does it? And no one would even consider such a silly idea that man evolved from pigs. Yet, genetically, we are more like pigs than we are apes. Might want to think about that, yeah? And all those that believe in Darwinism. If you truly believe in Darwinism, then yeah, you have to reconsider your idea your theory that mankind evolved from apes, because genetically we're more like pigs than apes, and perhaps that is why pork isn't favoured in the Bible. Yeah. I think our skin is almost identical to pigs. Yeah, you're eating the flesh, yeah, of a pig, which is very much like our own. You know, almost like cannibalism. Yeah, that might be why. Anyway, it's in the Old Testament, and Jesus, when he cast out the demons from a man, he sent them into a bunch of pigs, and then they ran off a cliff and drowned. God's telling his people Israel to come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sins, and be not partakers of her plagues. He's talking about the church here. Yeah. Santa equals Satan. Yep. It's an anagram of Satan, that. Those that don't know, a lot of people do though. The God of Christianity, Santa, equals Satan. Why is the biggest part of the Bible, what they call the Old Testament, kept from us? Shalom. Loved Hillsong London and Pastor Gary. Yeah, no, I was going to Hillsong London, as many of you know, but you really need to reconsider that, yeah, because Gary, Pastor Gary, who runs Hillsong London with his wife Kathy, well, they were responsible for the satanic ritual that took place in that church, so great singers and dancers, no problems, worship music, love it. Oh dear, this person's very lost. Although I now don't go for the leader, because he agrees that Allah is the same as Jesus. Okay, so that's what annoyed this person. But you really should check out the other stuff that Hillsong London have done, because it's even worse, believe it or not, even worse. The women are not conceited. I can only speak for Hillsong London. Women are doctors, scientists, army, navy, etc. The boots on the ground means to go out in the world to work, not to live in cloud nine. Hillsong builds villages. The members sponsor schools in India and pay for children to be educated. I think you're an arrogant, self-righteous ass. Wow. Well, I think you're very lost. Yeah. The fact that you can't see anything wrong with Hillsong London and Pastor Gary and everything that's taking place there. Oh dear. You better get out of there. You better change your viewpoint on all of this as well. Okay? Or you're in big trouble. What's this? Attacks are piggybacking on this truth and coming through to viewers. This has been pirated. What? Wow, seriously? I know they age restricted this video for some reason. I didn't do that, by the way. What's going on here? I don't know. Crazy, isn't it? This is spiritual wickedness in high places. Absolutely. Ooh, I'm not going to say that. Alright, it's this guy again, IAC 21. Were you attending the women's conference as a volunteer or as a delegate? meaning as an attendant. I know what a delegate is, you pillock, because the conference is only meant for women to my limited knowledge. What year also? I went in 2015 as a young and naive volunteer. Yeah, here we go. Little story, little testimony about me. 1 year before exposing their Easter ritual, Joyce Mayer was speaking. I remember it well because someone took my bag, believing it to be theirs, after they were all moved by the security team that was there. This is at the SSE Arena, Wembley, yeah. Now, my bag got nicked, okay, but when I attended, yeah, little story here for you. The women's conference. I was helping out. I don't know why, but I was just trying to be helpful. Get involved in my church. And I went to this women's conference to help out for a couple of days, and my bag got nicked. I got it back eventually, but it cost me a considerable amount in phone charges to call the Hillsong office to find out what had happened to it. And we're talking like 20 odd quid here, I also used to tithe to Hillsong, hence my anger with their leaders who have approved all of these satanic performances. Yeah, that bag incident was crazy, because I kept on phoning up the Hillsong office, and they kept ignoring me, and I was ringing them again and again. Oh, what happened? They said that somebody had found my bag, thinking that it was theirs, must have had the same kind of bag, and then they were expecting me to hand over their bag as if I had it. I remember that now, yeah. They're like, oh, we're not. I told them everything that was in the bag, and they're like, oh yeah, the person who has returned it doesn't want to give it back unless you give theirs back. It's like, I haven't got theirs. But I mean, it was the security team at that arena in Wembley that caused all that havoc. I don't know if it was a security team or just people at Hillsong. Yeah, they're bad, man. They're really bad at this place. Terrible. They are satanic. Oh, right, yeah. Now he's agreeing with me. IAC 21. Yeah, IAC 21. They are satanic. Yeah. Look at these people. Accidents happen, and you probably didn't have to phone the office. Why do you defend these people all the time? What's your problem? Yeah? Why do you love them so much? It's weird, okay? You love Hillsong more than you love Jesus. You freaks. You probably didn't have to phone the office. You most likely could have just talked to your team leader. No, I tried everything. What do you know about it, pal? This is nothing but indoctrination. The flashing words get into your brain in a way nothing else does. This is Mother Goddess Isis Semiramis worship. Yeah, just like the other ones I've been through. Other women's conferences, the Sydney one, that was absolutely goddess worship. The Christmas Carols 2019, totally goddess worship. They're going crazy with the goddess worship right now, guys. Yeah. It's at all their performances now. It's so satanic and Illuminati. Heart that one. Looks like a Disney musical. We know how satanic and evil Disney is, don't we? Oh, sorry, no, a lot of you don't. Oh, I'd have to explain all of that in a video as well, wouldn't I? Just to get through to you people. Oh dear. Why can't you find some of this stuff out for yourself? Yeah? Gee whiz. Everything I saw gave me the creeps. It is sad that so many people calling themselves Christians listen to Hillsong. I brought them up to this pastor assistant. He told me authoritatively that he saw no problem with Hillsong, and most church he claimed were good churches. What Bible is he reading? Totally oblivious. The churches are so terrible, you've really got to look to find a good one. Heart in that. Yeah. Now, some of you might be wondering why he put this. Yeah, what Bible is he reading? And those of you who are, well, likewise, what Bible are you reading? Yeah. You might want to check out the prophecy and what it says about the church in the end times.